Hey everyone, Tiffany here, and I wanted to tell you about a course that I have called the Essentials of Painting Guided Track. Now, if you want to learn more about how this guided track works, definitely check out my website at tiffanieMang.com/guided track. But as a quick overview, the Essentials of Painting Guided Track is a 4-month program that guides you through the fundamentals of painting, starting with how to compose a painting from the ground up, then learning how to arrange your painting with proper values to create the right mood, along with edges, and also learning about color anatomy, color relationships, and how to paint with color and light. And we're going to take all those fundamentals and learn how to apply that to your own illustrations, as well as going out into the field and plein air painting. Now, the Essentials of Painting Guided Track combines the best of both worlds because you can watch the lessons in this course at your own pace, at your own time, while being able to meet with me in live monthly Zoom sessions for 4 months. So really, this Essentials of Painting Guided Track does combine the best of both worlds. But that's not all. There's also 2 tracks. There's a digital painting guided track and a gouache painting guided track, because this course that I created, I have demos in both mediums because I myself am a digital and gouache painter. So really, by signing up for this course, you get the best of both worlds, and you can choose whether you want to focus on digital painting for this guided track or gouache painting. So if you want to learn more, definitely watch the rest of this video because I'm going to be breaking it all down. Thank you for watching this video, which will give you an overview of what the Essentials of Painting course is and what you're going to get by signing up for the guided track. Now, when you sign up for the Essentials of Painting guided track, you're going to get access to this whole course. And you can see I'm just briefly scrolling through. There's about 20 plus hours of lessons. There's 6 chapters in chronological order for you to follow at your own pace. And the whole course is designed to have you easily walk through and learn the fundamentals of painting. First, we're going to start off with Chapter 1, Introduction to the Visual Tools. And this is just really introducing you to Photoshop, the hierarchy of the visual tools, what you need to know that's in your visual toolbox that will help you with this course. Then it's designed to bring you and help you learn how to compose and design intentionally with grids and no-tan studies, which is one of my favorite ways to design my paintings, both using grids and matrix studies. And I do this in my everyday practice. That's Chapter 2. Now, in Chapter 3, we're going to now talk about how values, edges, and mood all tie together, and how really understanding how to create a proper arrangement of your values is what really ties into the mood of a painting. And how edges, the junction between your shapes, is so important, and knowing where to have those harder and softer edges between your shapes of value. So that's Chapter 3. In Chapter 4, we're going to now start going into color relationships. Now, this is just the anatomy of color, like to say. There's 2 chapters on color. In this first chapter, in Chapter 4, we're going to talk about the anatomy of color. What is hue? What is saturation? What is value? How do those all tie together to create the colors that we see? And also how simultaneous contrast works, and how the power of grays is so important to creating a painting to balance with saturation. In Chapter 5, we're now going to explore how color, light, and temperature all coexist, and how light influences the color temperatures that we see, right? Depending on the temperature of the light, whether it's a warmer light from the sun, maybe a cooler light from the overcast sky. And we're going to understand how to create form by carving out with planes, and also how we can start going out and painting from life and understanding the differences of direct light, like sunlight, and overcast light, like an overcast day. We're also going to learn about how to handle temperature and saturation in foliage, which I believe is something that's really tricky when you're handling a lot of greens when painting landscapes. So I do have a special lesson on that. And last but not least, in chapter 6, this chapter is focused on planar painting and taking all the fundamentals that you've learned in the previous chapters and applying it to painting from life, going out to paint from life, planar painting. So we're going to learn how to apply depth and atmosphere. We're going to learn about color and lighting truths and also how to break them as well to kind of add personal taste to your painting. I also have a lesson on tips for planar painting. And of course, I have some demos as well. Now, you might have noticed that throughout all these chapters, I have digital and gouache demos. So what is so special about this course is that you can literally learn digital painting and gouache painting together in one course, or choose to focus on one medium over the other. It's up to you. And when you sign up, you have lifetime access to the course. So you could just, keep rewatching the videos and, learn at your own pace. So you can see that in every lesson, I have gouache and digital demos. So you can see how I tackle the core concepts from each lesson in both mediums. So for example, here you can see me painting gouache thumbnails, which is going to be a homework assignment in direct and overcast light. And I also have a couple of digital demos showing how I would paint a landscape that is slightly overcast and direct, and also a landscape that is completely ambient lit and kind of an overcast light. So really every lesson, I have demos in both. You can see I have a digital master's painting study, and I also have a gouache landscape study using only the primary colors of red, blue, yellow, and white. So that is really the beauty of this course. Every chapter has analog or gouache and digital demos. So here you can see I even show you how I do a value study with Copic markers. I even show you how I do a value study here with Sharpie, but also how I do a matrix study in Sharpie, and also how I do a matrix study digitally. So again, you get the best of both worlds. Now you might be wondering, how does the guided track work? How am I supposed to follow along? How am I supposed to know what lessons I'm supposed to watch? Now, how the guided track works is each month you're going to kind of watch one chapter, 1 to 2 chapters. And to make it easy for you, I've already created a syllabus for you so that you can follow along when you sign up for the guided track and you know at what week to watch which lesson. So before you start the guided track program, you're just going to watch chapter 1. You're going to learn about the phases of your artistic journey, the hierarchy of your visual tools, and what's in your visual toolbox. And you can see I've outlined it here. Now, when we start month 1, you're going to have a whole month to just watch these videos and do the homework at your own pace. So month 1 is focused on composing with grids and values. So for example, in week 1, you would watch this lesson, composing with grids, which is this one right here. And then you do the homework associated with that week. Week 2, you would watch the power of no-tan studies, which is this, and you can watch the demos as well in both, or which medium, however you prefer. And then week 3, we're actually going to go into chapter 3. You're going to watch the lesson Intro to Value and Light. So right here, you're going to watch this lesson right here. So I have it outlined already, and each lesson already has homework embedded in it, which I will show in a second. And so that's month 1. And at the end of each month, I hold live sessions with the students. I have a separate track for the digital guided track for students who sign up for the guided track focusing on digital painting. And I have a live Zoom session for the guided track gouache version, where students sign up to focus on gouache painting. So each month there's one live session and they're about 2 hours. And in those live sessions, I do paint overs of the students' homework. Students can submit up to 2 pages of homework. They choose which ones they want me to look at, which assignments, and they put it together in a page. And I look at them in the live session and give you live feedback and paint over. So that's one live session a month. So after you do all the homework for month 1, we have a live session at the end of the month. Then we go on to month 2 and we focus on anatomy of color. And here are the lessons that you are suggested to watch. And these are suggestions, which is why the beauty of this course, this track, is that you can watch at your own pace. So maybe one week you fall behind and then maybe you try to catch up the next week and watch 2 lessons, right? So because I only meet once a month with all my students, they can kind of create their own schedule and organize how and figure out how they want to organize their time. After the end of month 2, we all meet again in Zoom and I go over the homework for that month, which is focused on color. And month 3, we focus on color and light, right? So that would be, for example, in this lesson right here, carving with planes. And each week you would watch these lesson names right here. And then after that month, we would meet again at the end of that month and go over all the homework associated with these lessons. And again, you would choose which assignments, which specific pieces you want me to look at. I can't look at possibly all of the lessons, of course, because that would be a lot of students and a lot of homework to go over in one session. But you choose which ones you struggled the most with, and I will talk with you in the live session. And month 4 is focused on the last chapter, which is plein air painting and the final project. And the final project is basically taking one of your plein air paintings and refining it into a finished piece, into a more finished digital or gouache illustration using all the tools and fundamentals that you've learned in this entire course. So I do have this is the digital Essential Paintings digital syllabus. Now, if you're new to Photoshop, fear not. I actually have a whole YouTube playlist here that you can watch. And it's like a Photoshop for dummies, how to open up a file, how to resize, how to set up your workspace, and how to work with really simple tools in Photoshop that is really all you'll need for this course. I don't use a lot of fancy tools myself in Photoshop. I just have maybe 3 to 4 brushes that I use. And so this playlist will help you go over all the tools that you need for my course. So fear not, if you're like, oh, I really want to learn Photoshop, but I'm kind of new and I'm not sure, check out this playlist right here. And of course, I also have a gouache version of the syllabus. So it's really basically the same thing, except, you would watch the gouache demos instead, but the whole curriculum is really the same. So month 1, again, focusing on composition and values. Instead of watching the digital demos, you could watch the analog demos. And you can see here, I have all the demos laid out that you can watch. Month 2, month 3, and month 4. Once you've signed up for the course, you can log in and you have access to the whole course and all the lessons. So you can just click on any of these. I'm going to click on this, for example, and it will take you to the actual lesson. And if you just click play, you can watch the entire lesson, as simple as that. I have it on mute right now, by the way. Now, if you scroll down, I usually have notes as well corresponding to that particular lesson. And I'll often have links as well. For example, here is a link to the playlist that I made that I talked about earlier. And sometimes I have additional links to other really helpful YouTube videos. And usually I'll have something for you to download. So in this case, if you click download brushes and tool presets, you can get a whole list, my whole gouache supply list, as well as my brushes and my tool presets that I use on Photoshop. So it's really, really easy to navigate. And when you're done watching, you just click on the next lesson and it will take you chronologically through each lesson. Not all lessons have homework, so sometimes you won't see a button, but most all lessons, especially the later ones, will have homework. So for example, If you click on Download Homework PDF right here for Lesson 3 under your visual toolbox, it will take you straight to the Google Drive folder where you can read the PDF for what the homework is about. So make sure you click on that doc or PDF so you know what you're going to do. And most always, I also have student examples for you to see how previous students have tackled this homework. And I'll have student examples for each corresponding homework folder. So you can download these, analyze them, read them. And a lot of times I also provide images as well for you to analyze in this particular homework. You can also choose your own images to analyze for this particular homework as well. So going back to the lessons, if you just click on next lesson, it will take you chronologically to the next one. And again, I have notes about the lesson of what you'll learn. And if you click download homework PDF, it will take you to the homework for that particular lesson. And again, here's the doc for that particular lesson explaining the homework. And I usually have descriptions on how to do it digitally on Photoshop and also how to do it the traditional way. So in one homework doc, whether you're doing it digitally or through gouache, make sure you read the homework doc because I have both explanations for how to do it digitally and how to do it analog or traditionally. And of course, I have student examples as well, so you can see how previous students have done it. This is actually my own example. So make sure you take a look at those because those are always helpful. Now, if you want to jump from lesson to lesson, you can click on this little bar, 3 hamburger style bar, and you can jump from lesson to lesson. Now, right here, it showed check marks because it thinks I've watched all of it. But let's say you left off here and you want to go to the Power of Known Hand Studies. It will take you right to that lesson. You can play it, right? And you can download the corresponding homework PDF. So if you want to rewatch a lesson or you don't want to go in chronological order, you can always navigate through this area right here and it will save your progress. Let's say I want to jump to something with color, right? I want to go to anatomy of color. Easy peasy, just click on that lesson. You can start watching and, download whatever you need. So it's really easy to navigate throughout the whole course so that you can watch what you need and watch at your own pace. If you are curious in reading how the guided track works, you can always visit my website at tiffaniemang.com. Go to Courses, click on Essentials of Painting Guided Track, and it will take you to this page right here. Now, I'll always list when my next enrollment is. In this case, it's July 2026, and the actual term starts August to November 2026 because it's 4 months. So make sure to check on this site if you're not sure when enrollment begins, because sometimes I only run this once a year. Usually it depends on my schedule. It's not always, every year. It's usually once a year depending on my schedule. So if you really want to make sure that you're the first to be notified, you should definitely join my early bird waitlist where you can get the early bird pricing. So if you click on this link, all you have to do is just fill out your info right here, first and last name, and also which track you're interested in applying for. Is it the digital painting guided track or is it the gouache painting guided track? Because each track has a separate Zoom session. I would love to know what your current experience level with painting is and what you want to improve in your painting practice. So just some questions to get to know you more so I'm familiar with what skill level that the students are entering into the guided track with. The spots are first come, first serve. So if you really want to get on, make sure you put your name on the early bird waitlist so you know when enrollment opens. You're the first to know. And if you scroll down, you can read more about the guided track. And you can see that the guided track offers two options, the gouache track and the digital track. And both tracks include full access to the Essentials of Painting course that I went over in this video, homework briefs that I also went over, and besides the 2-hour live Zoom sessions at the end of each month where you get direct feedback, paintovers, and live Q&A, you also get to keep the session recordings and the PSE paintover files of your homework. You can keep and rewatch the recordings anytime. I also have a designated Discord community, a private Discord community for each track, the gouache track and the digital painting track, where students can post progress, chat with other guided track peers, and get written feedback from me during that month before each live session. So you get awesome accountability and support while being able to do the homework at your own pace. Now make sure you get the early bird pricing deal for $449. And if you miss that, then you won't get the early bird pricing. If you scroll down here, you can also see what just the simple on-demand course offers versus what the guided track offers. So a lot more stuff that you can sign up for and get. And here is just a really rough idea of what each month entails that I went over in detail in this video. So month 1 focuses on value and composition, where you will learn the visual tools of painting and how to design compositions with proper value relationships. Month 2 focuses on the anatomy of color, where you learn about color relationships, saturation, color temperature, and grays. Month 3 focuses on color and light and how you can learn to paint in direct light and ambient light. And month 4 focuses on planar painting, where you're going to head outdoors to paint from life because nature is your best teacher. I also have a little Q&A section here, so if you have any questions, make sure to check this out as well. So again, if you're curious to learn more about how the guided track functions, definitely check out my page at Courses, Essentials of Painting Guided Track. And if you're curious about an overview of all the courses that I run, definitely check out this page here, Courses, Overview of All Courses. And here you can kind of look at all the courses that I offer. For example, Color Bootcamp course with Mike Hernandez. I have this 3-hour workshop course that's only $39, which you can get from my store. You can get it here if you learn here. You click here, sorry. And if you're interested in more hands-on classes with me, I have the guided track, and I also have a color scripting mentorship, which is what I focus on working in animation. This is a 3-month intense mentorship where you meet weekly, so make sure you check this out as well if you're interested in that. So again, if you go to courses, you can check out all my courses here and make sure to click on the Essentials of Painting Guided Track to learn more. Thank you for watching, and I hope you can learn with me next term.